Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
If you're looking for a company that can do it all when it comes to building, look no further than Tenakee Properties. From new home builds to remodels and commercial projects, our contractors work hard to give your space a new life from planning to finishing touches. Whether it's new interiors or dirt work, they see your big picture without forgetting the small details. In the market for a new home, they partnered with Freeman Development to bring new homes to the Oak Hill subdivision of Lawrenceburg. That's Tenakee Properties, licensed and insured. Call today or visit Tenakee.
Good Works at Home, formerly known as the Summit at Home, is a licensed non-skilled agency dedicated to helping you maintain your independence at home for as long as possible. Our compassionate and caring staff provide support in various areas, including dressing, bathing, personal hygiene, transportation, cleaning, and companionship. Please call our office about services, payment options, and long-term care policies at 931-762-2310. We look forward to assisting you with keeping your independence longer.
Efficiency, reliability, accuracy. Move forward with your real estate sale or purchase with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County, the most experienced closing team around. Working with clients locally and throughout the state, we offer a wide range of services, including the expertise of an on-staff attorney, backed by our more than 49 years experience in titles and closings. We get the job done on time at a fair price and ensure every last detail is correct. Our goal is to give you peace of mind. When you work with us, you work with people who live where you do. We understand the importance of the real estate community and strive to build strong relationships with all parties involved in the process. Whether you're buying a home, selling a business, acquiring land, or anything in between, you're in good hands with Title and Escrow of Lawrence County.
Put the most experienced closing team on your side. Contact Title and Escrow of Lawrence County today.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
Welcome everybody here to X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. AJ Good here with Michael Marks, joining you here on a Friday afternoon after a very busy Thursday. And we've got another very busy Friday coming up here this tonight, Mike. Everyone, we got college stuff, we got high school stuff, and we had a very busy night last night.
Yeah, but it felt like all of our teams were in action last night. I would say Lawrence County open in the new field, Summertown home opener, Loretto on the road on the baseball side. I believe just Lawrence County and Summertown softball in action, but tonight
Loretto. Well, last night.
Yes.
Last night, yeah.
I would say, but tonight we have 5 softball games going on. Well, 6 actually. Each one of our high schools is playing 2 games tonight. Yeah. Lawrence County and Summertown up at the Warrior Classic in Murfreesboro. Loretto against Richland, and then just Summertown and Loretto on the baseball side tonight.
Yeah, you talked about Lawrence. And the Wildcats opened up the brand new Tom Cruise Field last night. Mike took on Columbia, new turf, new lights, and they brought it out in grand style. A big 10-1 win over the Lions last night. Wind was blowing straight out the left, but when the Wildcats started to hit some long balls, well, the wind wasn't blowing that hard. Jack Emerson hit a frozen rope that maybe got just 7 feet off the air, got over the fence, and then Jake Moore hit one the Summertown. It's good to see the Wildcats. Might be the best game they played all season long. Columbia, 5-8 is a very deceiving record. They've got a lot of talent. It's a really good team. They played a really loaded schedule especially front-loaded. They've already got a couple district games under their belt as well. But, man, you can tell just how much this team has grown. They're breaking out the bats. The pitching was incredible last night. The defense was very good as well. This team is – I got home last night, looked at my wife, and she goes, could they go to the state tournament? I'm like, there's just something about these guys. They're special. Nothing rattles them. They just keep going. The pitching's there. The offense is there. It's pretty. This is a pretty good team.
And see, that's always the tough thing to make that connection in high school is are we going to have a year where the bats and the arms are both there? We knew the Lawrence County bats were going to be good. The arms have performed extremely well this year. I mean, holding that Columbia team to just one run is incredibly good, and just a huge win. And obviously, you like to be able to have a big win your first night on the new Tom Cruise field.
Yeah, still got some other stuff to do on the turf, but the turf looks incredible. I know the staff. The high school staff and the Parks and Rec staff are going to, again, it's just because it's turf doesn't mean you can just lay it.
No.
Put some rubber on it and some sand and you're good for the next 15 years. No, this is a constant project, but the mound is dirt. So that part's still going to be real, but they did an incredible job with the turf. The lights are awesome. We had fireworks last night.
Oh, wow.
They kind of mistimed the fireworks after Jack hit his home run, but you can see on the video when Jake hits his home run, the moment the ball disappears over left,
boom,
goes in the air. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm at a big league, minor league game. You hit a home run and the fireworks go off.
Yeah, and you got to imagine those kids were excited to finally be able to go out and play on that field because, I mean, high school kids, if they get a chance to play on turf, they're going to jump at it, and now you got that as your home field, and what a way to break it out.
Yeah, and they got a game against Huntsville tomorrow. We won't be there, just to let everybody know. I want to see my son play a T-ball game, so I'm going to get an opportunity to do that tomorrow. I will be there with them the rest of the way throughout the year, hopefully to Murfreesboro with all of our teams.
Oh, man, how special would that be? I bet say we've had years where all the volleyball teams have made it up there.
First year here.
I bet say, awesome. Imagine if we're able to do that in the spring with either baseball or softball.
Yeah, well, speaking of a fun night last night, Mike, you had a fun game over there in Pulaski with
a great win for the Mustangs. Got down 4-0 in the second. John Tucker started the game for the Mustangs, and a little bit of a shaky outing. Had a rough second inning, give up a couple of hits, but I said it on the broadcast that a bunch of those hits wouldn't have gotten pulled over in a school zone. It was some real live bloopers, and Cooper Burleson comes in the game bottom of the second inning with 1 out, bases loaded, and only gives up that one more run. He grew up a lot, and the bats really came out when they needed to. Mason Tidwell a couple of big hits, but Braden Bennett from the 9 spot, 3 hits, 2 runs scored, was huge for the Mustangs in that win.
And then Kason Springer just rips that triple.
Oh man,
right center. I keep saying he's the best leadoff hitter in the state because he is.
Yes, he just finds a way to get on base.
Finds a way to get on, and he can hit for power. If he puts a ball in the gap, either gap, it's almost a guaranteed triple at this point.
And I don't know if that specific play was a designed hit and run, or they were just trying to get Bennett in motion. He was the leadoff runner and had gotten on, and I would say Springer just sent one into the gap and just kept running, and what a win for the Mustangs.
Yeah, they needed that one. It's easy at the high school level to go down 4-0 and all right, well guys, this isn't going to be our night. Let's just try to not get run ruled.
Well, the big thing,
and they just kept going. Defense was good, pitching was great, as you mentioned, and they took advantage of some Giles County errors, some wild pitches, an error off a pickoff throw. Giles County gave them opportunities they took advantage of.
Yeah, I would say. And the big thing for the Mustangs is after giving up that 4-run second inning, they didn't score any runs in the top of the third, but they got the bases loaded. They were showing that they can get on. They are going to be able to produce. And the bats, they showed up a bit late, but when they got there, they were there to stay.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of the bats.
Oh, man.
Last night.
Are we sure that wasn't a football game?
I looked at the score and went, Huh?
Yeah.
What is going on? But, man, this team just continues to score runs after runs after runs. They scored 18 last night against Eagleville. We don't know what Eagleville's going to have, and we don't know what they had. It's just so hard to tell this early in the year when you haven't really played district games yet or really know how strong their district is. But what we do know, the Summertown offense is unreal. They've got speed. They got guys that can hit for pop, and their guys with speed can hit for pop. And they don't strike out a lot. Actually, they don't strike out much at all. They put the ball in play. They let their wheels get going, and they make you make mistakes, and that was part of the whole package last night against Eagleville.
Yeah, I'd say you can go and look at Eagleville's schedule. This one really sticks out like a sore thumb. They haven't given up more than 6 runs in a game all year, and then come out and Summertown Summertown really welcomed them to Summertown's field last night. And man, the offenses, they were there early and they were there often. Summertown able to jump out to a big lead there in the first couple of innings and just were able to hold on.
I mean, they had a bases loaded situation. You think a guy's going to ground the double play, throw gets away, and 3 runs. I mean, they had 2 plays last night with the bases loaded were either a double or an error. I mean, those guys get going. They run with they're fearless when they run.
Yep.
This is just such a hard team to beat because they just don't strike out a lot, and they force you to beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's already the 5th game this year where Summertown scored at least 8 runs. The offense is there, and you definitely like to see an 18-10 win against Eagleville. You have a big opportunity against Columbia Central tonight, and that leads right into their start of district play next week against Loretto.
It's almost like Columbia's just making
the rounds.
They should have started at Loretto on Wednesday.
I would say we have them right now scheduled Friday, April 3rd. Okay. So Loretto and Columbia
next
weekend. Yes,
at Loretto
at Columbia.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm happy they're playing. I'm happy just everyone around here is playing. Everybody,
yes.
You get some. I know they're not district games, and they're starting to treat them like colleges do midweek games, where it's the Johnny Hole staff games, which it's better to do that than just to throw bullpens throughout the course of the week, and I get all of that, but it's good that you see, Lewis County's playing everybody, you got Columbia playing everybody,
Well, there's good talent around the area. It's just they always haven't been able to work out schedules, but you got Columbia Central playing everybody. Richland likes to play teams in here. Used to play Wayne County and Collinwood a lot, so it's good to see all the teams around here starting to play each other more frequently.
Let's go to some high school softball last night. Summertown just continues to roll. Played a really good Lewis County team last night, shut them out 6-0. And speaking of the bats, this team, Greenlee Taylor, Olivia Woods, I'm blanking on one. Kerrigan Bradburn. I knew I was going to get it. This team has got some pop. They got some wheels, and their pitching and their defense have been spectacular this year.
Yeah, and that's on top of the bats. I mean, it feels like they're scoring 6 to 8 to 10 runs every game, and it's just Summertown softball. You know exactly what you're going to get every time they step out on the field, and it's kind of like we talk about them in Loretto when it comes to the volleyball and the basketball sides. It's not a rebuilding year any. It's just reload and keep bringing in talented players, and they have some good matchups this weekend with some teams outside of the state of Tennessee. You got 2 teams from Indiana tonight. They got Boone Grove, Indiana at 4, and then Bedford North Lawrence, Indiana at 6. So some interesting competition.
Yeah, and Lawrence County baseball plays. And doesn't Summertown play Terre Haute?
I would say I think they come down and play all 3 teams on the baseball side.
Okay.
So
this is the second straight year. It's something like I remember when I was in high school, a bunch of New York teams would come through and play West Virginia teams during their spring break. I'm like, oh, is Southern Middle Tennessee, is that the Indiana team's beach trip?
It must be because it's next week. They're playing Summertown on Wednesday, Loretto on Thursday, and then Lawrence County on Friday. So they're making their rounds, and I always think it's fun to bring teams in from out of state or even just further away. I remember a couple of years ago when Arlington came to Loretto and played Summertown, and I think Davidson Academy came down there as well, but played Summertown and Loretto, and that was a ton of fun.
Yeah. So Lawrence County and Summertown will play, and they've got some good teams. Speaking of Lawrence County, last night Bats came out for the Lady Cats, scored 18, sweep the regular season from Tullahoma, and having struggled with hitting the ball against like the Lincoln counties of the world and the Franklin counties and whatnot. I bet it felt really good for Coach Lloyd and company to get 18 runs last night. And I mean, these weren't cheap. These weren't like, balls through legs and whatnot. They were peppering the outfield wall. Callie Brown hits a 2-run homer. A lot of triples, a lot of doubles last night for this team.
Well, I would say I mentioned that on the show yesterday. When those bats get going, they're hard to slow down. 18 runs, a more convincing win. Had to have the walk-off grand slam against them a couple of weeks ago, able to go over there and shut things down in more commanding fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just, this team last year, got off to a slow start. And then they figured things out, like right there towards the end of the regular season. And then once the regular season ended and they got into the postseason, it's really caught fire. And I see little things with this team right now where things are starting to click. Okay, offensively, they find a way to get on base. They're finding a way to drive runs in, to have productive outs and do all that. The one thing that needs to start coming around, and it did, and it had some flashes of it last night, defensively and pitching.
Yes, I would say that, and that's always the best way to win games if you don't let the other team score. Yeah. And like you mentioned, Lawrence County has had their struggles with that, but it's kind of similar to the bats. When it's on, it's on. I would say the defense, again, it does sometimes leave a little to be desired, but that's something that I agree just comes as you keep playing games throughout the season, and it's going to get better as it goes on. And if that's really your only bugaboo right now is a couple of defensive errors, that's something that can easily be cleaned up.
Yeah, and it goes throughout the course of the year. That's why you play all these games. That's why you play all these teams. Again, their schedule's way different.
Yes.
Lawrence County Baseball, their first district games are Monday and Tuesday, and by that time the softball team has already played 4 or 5 district games.
Yeah, I would say,
it's just a little bit different.
I would say, and the district schedules are a little different for softball because it's Tuesday, Thursday, and it's not the same team back to back, so it's a little different as opposed to baseball. But again, that was a really nice win for the Lady Cats.
Yeah, let's get into some college baseball. Here.
We got a fun one this weekend.
Big one this weekend, just over here in Nashville. The Commodores and the Volunteers. Vols won 3 in a row, taking 2 out of 3 from Missouri. Then close one there against South Carolina upstate. Vandy at the bottom of the conference right now. Tennessee in the middle. So this is a pivotal game for both of these teams starting tonight at 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
8 o'clock Eastern.
Yes, and all 3 of these games this weekend televised. So I would say people are going to get to watch these games, and I think this is a huge series for both teams. I would say Vandy near the bottom of the conference, Tennessee right there in the middle at 3-3, and I think you can realize how important Tennessee thinks this game is. They made a switch in their weekend rotation. Tegan Coon's no longer the Friday starter. Brandon Arvidsson, the transfer, came in last year. He's getting the Friday nod. So this is a big series between these two teams.
Vandy's just 14-12 right now. 0-3 on the road. Tennessee's got some things to clean up. Obviously, not the same pop that they've had in years past, but they've traditionally played pretty well there in Nashville. And man, if you're going to be a serious contender, not just in the SEC but on the national stage, you got to take 2 out of 3 this weekend.
Yes, and it's a big one because Vandy is having a down year. You don't want to go in there and give them any momentum because it feels like the winner of this series always has good momentum throughout the rest of the season. And we got a ton of big series in the SEC this weekend. We got Oklahoma, Texas, a top 10 matchup. You got the Iron Bowl in baseball with Auburn and Alabama, Mississippi State and Ole Miss. So a lot of the in-state matchups being featured this weekend.
And the softball team got Ole Miss this weekend for a series. They're trying to kind of bounce back here a little bit. They slipped. They lost 2 out of 3 to Florida the last weekend. Dominated Tennessee Tech in 6 innings. So big weekend in Knoxville with Ole Miss coming to town.
Yeah, I would say Lady Vols need to get back on track. You drop 2 out of 3 to Florida, and you think, that's not great. But you look, Florida's. I would say they're 8-1. They're 32-2 this year. I'd say you look at the entire SEC, you're going to struggle to find a team with double-digit losses. I mean, there's some more down there at the bottom, but you look at some of those teams at the top. Alabama 31-2, Tennessee 23-9, Florida 32-2, Texas and Oklahoma have a combined 3 losses. So the SEC is dominant as ever in softball.
All right. Well, Mike, coming up next here, we're going to talk the tournament, the men's and the women's side of things. That will be when we return here on Exports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen.
There are now more ways to save at Quick Mart. Become a Quick Club member and easily earn rewards on qualifying purchases at Quick Mart convenience stores using the Quick Club app, available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. To save on fuel for work, use the Fuel Rewards Pro app to earn 5 cents a gallon on work fill-ups and redeem the savings for yourself. To get started, visit fuelrewards.com/pro or download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Top quality equipment rentals at the right price. It's not too good to be true at Rent Right Equipment and Sales. We guarantee clean, reliable products that are up to your standards. Our family-owned business has been doing that for more than 40 years. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff take care of you from purchase to maintenance. Saws, drills, lifts, mowers, generators, you name it, we've got it. Stop by and see our inventory today, located on Buffalo Road in Lawrenceburg.
Did you know that Resource MFG, an employee bridge company in Lawrenceburg, is the first and largest national manufacturing staffing company? They work alongside the top plants and facilities in the area to provide you with job opportunities in production, quality, maintenance, supervision, and all levels of management. Resource MFG has positions open right now to meet your needs today and a full staff ready to work with industrial partners to grow opportunities for this generation of workers and the next. Reach out today and start your employment journey with Resource MFG. At Smith Tax and Business Service, we offer many services. Along with personal income tax prep, we also offer tax preparation for corporations and partnerships. If you're a small business and looking for some extra help, give us a shout and we'll get you fixed up. Call Mary Beth Smith, Marion Matthews, Brooklyn Bates, or Michelle Staggs to find out how we can help you. Located at 208 Pulaski Street, phone 931-244-6633.
Are you tired of missing out on family life just to be treated like another truck number? Since 1986, Southeast Carriers has been a family-operated business based in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. Being family-owned ourselves, we understand the importance of family, which is why we value it above all else. With our large number of dedicated lanes and our friendly staff, we are able to evenly divide your home time with the amount of time you spend on the road. We offer multiple benefits with large company pay now starting at $20 per hour, all while keeping a small company environment. For more information, visit our website, southeastcarriers.com, or check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
At C&B Linen, fast, friendly, and reliable service is our promise to you. Because you're not just a customer, you're family. From multi-use linen to branded floor coverings and a complete range of cleaning supplies, C&B Linen is here to make sure you have everything you need. From our high-quality products to our fast, friendly, and reliable service, you'll experience the difference with C&B Linen. Because you're not just a client, you're part of our family. You'll be winning with C&B Linen.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.
And welcome back to X Sports Live, brought to you by C&B Linen. AJ Good here with Michael Marks, talking some tournament basketball. The women are going on right now. You got Notre Dame and Vanderbilt. Just first quarter low scoring game that can eventually break out. But man, last night we had some great matchups in the elite in the Sweet 16 as Purdue, Iowa as a 9 seed, Illinois. Really good win against Houston and Arizona all make their way to the Elite Eight. And the first thing you said when I saw you today, Mike, you said that Arizona made the case that they're the best team in the country and the national championship is theirs to lose. I picked them, so I'm definitely not going to argue with you.
Yeah, and it's kind of been Arkansas's, Achilles heel this year is big physical teams. You remember what Florida did to them a couple weeks ago, and Arizona kind of just did the same thing to them. I mean, Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas, they had great games, but really all the big men for Arkansas, Malik Ewan, nothing going. Evan Brazil, nothing going. Nick Pringle, same thing there. And then you look at everybody really for Arizona that played more than 5 minutes, scored 14 points. Yeah. I mean, Kurchenkov, 15 and 3. Koa-Pete goes for 21 points. Krivas goes for 14 points. Burries with 23. Yeah. And then you get 14 and 7 from Tobey Awaka off the bench, a former Tennessee guy. And man, they're just so tough.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been a big Tommy Lloyd guy. He was a longtime assistant for Mark Few at Gonzaga, and man, ever since he's taken over Arizona, they've been a tough team that has struggled in the tournament. Seems like he's got a team this year that is kind of the opposite.
Big, physical, can play. Even though they gave up 89 points or 88 points last night, they can still defend you pretty well. And really, when you're executing like they were offensively and getting the rebounds and those second chance opportunities, it doesn't really matter what you do, how good you are defensively when your offense is that good.
Well, you look, they shot 64% from the field, 64% from three, only took 8 3-point shots, and I've said that if you take less than 15 in a game, you're
5 of 8.
You're hurting, and they proved me wrong there. 30 of 39 from the free throw line, though. If you can get to the line 40 times,
I've said it every.
You are not going to lose many games.
you can win or lose the game at the line.
Yes, and to be able to go up there and put up 30 points at the free throw line, that's how you get 110 points in a tournament game. It's exactly how you do it.
Yeah, the one I loved last night, though, was we had got a Big Ten matchup for the third time this year. Iowa and Nebraska met up. Iowa takes a series 2 out of 3. They beat them earlier in the year at home, 57-52, then lost at Nebraska 84-75. Looked great last night. This Iowa team, Mike, I know they're 24-12 right now. They finished 10-10 in the Big Ten. They finished 9th in the Big Ten. They are a 9 seed.
And they're in the Elite Eight.
They're in the Elite Eight. And they've beaten Clemson, Florida, Nebraska, and now they get another Big Ten game against Illinois.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if they can handle these guys, why not throw Illinois at them?
Yeah.
I actually predicted this one on the show, my show Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever I made my pick on this, just because if you told me that Iowa had made it here and Bennett Sturts had played 2 bad games, there's no way he's going to play 3 in a row. Puts up 20 points last night and a big win for Iowa. And you look at Nebraska. I mean, they got the guys that they needed to get going. Both Price Sanford and Braden Frager had great games. But, the next guy you look to for scoring, Rink Moss, only 4-15 shooting, 0-7 from 3. Yeah. And I think that ended up being kind of their Achilles heel was just the poor 3-point shooting, 13 of 38.
Yeah, they met up at Iowa. Illinois won that game 75-69. So this is their second matchup. And there's just something to be said about momentum. And it doesn't matter what seed you are. And when you got a team that's pretty well constructed, I mean, most people will tell you the way that this team is built is really good. But when they figure it out, it's not a matter of how, it's a matter of when.
Yes.
They figured it out now. They just gain more momentum, and now you're playing a team and you know how to beat them, even though you lost to them. This could not have worked any better. For them as far as a road to the Final Four.
Yeah, and Iowa, they do a really good job, and I get this was a rather high-scoring game for them, but they really limit possessions in games, and I think that was something that actually kind of gave Illinois some problems last night. When Illinois was at their best, they were running. So I actually think that this is I'm not going to say a favorable matchup for Iowa, but you've won 3 in a row and 2 of the more impressive wins in the tournament. You got to be feeling good heading into the Elite Eight.
Yeah. In Texas last night, controversial finish there, Mike. Purdue with the tip in there at the buzzer, some won in and over and back, some didn't. Yeah. Again, Texas is another one of those teams that's just caught fire there at the right time. They finished, bottom half of the SEC, 9-9, just 21-15. Got in as 11th seed, and they were just a tip in or a favorable bounce here and there, or they could be in the Elite Eight right now.
Yeah, and I thought that Purdue's size was going to be the one thing that ended up tripping Texas up, and it was. Trey Kaufman-Rim was awesome, 20 points, 8 rebounds, and probably the biggest 2 points and the biggest rebound of his career, that little tip in there to send Purdue back to the Elite Eight, second trip in 3 years.
All right, Mike, we talked about it yesterday. Now, it's tonight. I know you're hoping, your game starts at 6:30 tonight?
Yeah, I should be done, all things considered.
Yeah, quick game, Zach.
Yeah, I would say let's maybe a 2 or 3 run first and then 3 up, 3 down the rest of the game.
Yeah, no intentional walks. Just you guys in the zone all night tonight.
Yes, I would say. Yeah. So we can, I would say, get in the car by at least 9-10.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I am super pumped.
Yeah.
The let's go get them thing. The Tennessee basketball team. Their little mantra in the tournament. I'm hooked on it, and it's just got a big game feel to it, and it's a little different because usually when Tennessee makes it to this point, they're the 2 seed or the 3 seed in this situation, and they're the one that's like, oh, we cannot slip up here. Yeah. They're the team that's got nothing to lose right now.
Right.
You're not supposed. Your seed indicates that you should not be here right now, but you are. Yeah. And you got a team that's a little banged up. Jefferson was not moving very much at shoot around this morning. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing when it comes to that. So I'm just super pumped about this. You're going to need a big game from both Ament and Gillespie, though. Iowa State is no joke.
I was never, my team, West Virginia played them twice. I was never really impressed with Iowa State. I thought, West Virginia is not a good team, and they hung around with this group the whole time. Probably should have beat them in Morgantown and didn't. I think Tennessee, Iowa State is a second half team. They they really start to figure things out with about 7-8 minutes left in the first half. If Tennessee can just withstand the storm and play good just like they did to get against Virginia to get into the Sweet 16, where you're playing your best at the end. They can do that. I don't see why they don't go into the Elite Eight.
Yeah, and the big key is going to be watching Milan Momcilovic, the forward for Iowa State, 50% from three on the year. I mean, that's incredible. And that's the thing. If you let him get going and he hits 4 threes, 5 threes, and Tennessee has some traumatic memories of guys hitting a bunch of threes against them in the tournament, you cannot let that guy get going because, again, without Jefferson, he is the guy they look at to be their top scorer. And if you can shut him down, it's going to force somebody that hasn't been in that situation to be kind of thrust into an unfamiliar spot. And if it becomes a guard, I'm comfortable with Tennessee's guards defensively, both Gillespie and Boswell.
And the team, if they win, they'll either face Bama or Michigan. And the way I've seen these Big Ten teams play, where they have size, they've got shooters, and they're really good rebounding teams. I mean, you've got, we had 3 Big Ten teams advance yesterday in the 4 games, and we've got 2 Big Ten teams with Michigan State and Michigan on opposite sides. They're not going to play each other, but that scares me for Alabama. Not that I'm ever scared for Alabama ever. Or anything in life, but if you're Bama, you don't have a good offensive night. They're not the best rebounding team. And Michigan, they defend well, they rebound even better. I know you like scoring a lot of points, but you're really going to have to be on your P's and Q's against this team tonight.
I would say you look at points given up per game, Alabama at around 83 points per game given up, Michigan 69. So it's going to come down to defense. Now, funny enough, Alabama plays so up and down. They actually average more rebounds a game as opposed to Michigan. But I don't know. It just feels like this Michigan team's got so many different guys that you can just ask to go out there and have a good game. Obviously, Lindeborg, the transfer from UAB, would look to have a big game against the flagship school of the state. But, man, I mean, Morez Johnson, the Illinois transfer, Damar, the UCLA transfer, they got a ton of big men. The one thing that does kind of concern me about Michigan is their guards. Missing LJ Case, and he's out for the remainder of the season. But I'm not sure how much they have at the guard position because you're going to need to lock down LeBaron Fillon because that guy can go for 30 just like that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And you got St. John's Duke tonight, and then you got Michigan State, UConn. That's going to be a lot of fun. To some national sports news, the NBA, is presenting 3 comprehensive anti-tanking proposals that they've, according to ESPN's Shams Sharani. Each of the 3 concepts will be radical departures from the current setup. Have one thing in common: bringing teams that make the playoffs into the lottery process. From there, they change dramatically. In the first proposal, sources told Sharani, 18 teams, the bottom 10 that miss the play-in tournament, and the 8 that qualify for it, all will be part of the draft lottery. The bottom 10 teams will have an equal 8% chance of moving up in the lottery, with the remaining 20% of the odds being split among the 8 play-in teams in descending order from 11th through 18th. All 18 spots will be drawn as part of the lottery in that format. The second proposal, 22 teams, the bottom 10 teams that miss the play-in tournament, and the 8 that tank will qualify for it, and the 4 playoff teams that lose in the first round will all be included in the lottery. And the third proposal, 5x5 method. And this one, the same 18 teams from the first concept. The bottom 10 that miss the play-in plus the 8 that make it would be entered in the lottery. The teams with the 5 worst records will then all have the same odds, with them descending from there, and there would be a lottery drawing for each of the top 5 picks in the draft.
I mean, obviously, we need to get rid of tanking. It's become a big problem in the NBA, and especially this year with as many talented freshmen as there are. I mean, you could have the 7th pick and still feel like you're getting a Hall of Fame level player. But I'm not sure if there is a good way to do it because there's always it's like, oh, if you have this many losing seasons in a row, you got to sell the team or something like that, or you're put in probation. There's not a real good way to do it. I mean, these are obviously some proposals because it gives better teams opportunities to get bigger picks, and obviously it kind of dilutes it a bit to the point where your worst 2 or 3 teams aren't getting the top picks. But I really just don't know if that works because you have last year where Dallas gets the first pick, I just don't know if something like this is going to be the way to fix it. I think it's going to be something that has to come a little more aggressive from Adam Silver and the NBA executives.
I agree with you.
Because it feels like they're kind of just moseying around and not really.
Like we're just going to redo the one thing that's the problem in the first place.
Well, I would say you keep saying the one word, lottery. That's the problem right there. It's a lottery.
100%, yeah. 100%. And baseball, to close things out here, Mike, opening day yesterday. Nationals beat the Cubs. Paul Skeens looked horrible.
Oh, man,
for
yeah.
the Pirates against the Mets. Didn't even make it an inning. Mets still win it 11-7. Brewers strike out 20 White Sox.
Oh, my goodness. I was about to bring up Mizorowski having 11 strikeouts through 5 innings. I didn't realize they had 20 as a team.
20 as a team, and which is the second most in opening day history, because last year the White Sox struck out 21 times on opening day.
Oh, so they're getting a little better.
Yeah, just inch by inch.
There you go. And I think
it to the ground.
I would say, and to look at something kind of positive out of the thing for the White Sox, they signed Munetaka Murakami out of Japan over the offseason, and he was really the one bright spot. 1 for 2, had a solo home run, 2 walks. So there is a little bit of promise in Chicago. But
they'll trade him away before he gets good.
Probably.
Orioles win close against the Twins. Red Sox get a really good win there on the road. Crochet pitched pretty well for him. Angels shut out the Astros. Tigers been winners in San Diego. The Phillies edged the Rangers. Cardinals good come from behind win against the Rays. Dodgers dominate the Diamondbacks, and the Guardians edged the Mariners last night.
Yeah, that may have been the most shocking of which. Seattle, Logan Gilbert coming out, you would think, hey, we're going to have a great start. Really, neither starting pitcher was very good. Bibby as well for Cleveland. You had to look to the bullpens to get some big innings, and funny enough, it was the Cleveland bullpen, which doesn't shock me one bit. I mean, it feels like they always have a good pitching staff, and they were able to get the win. Cade Smith already with a save in game number 1.
Tonight, the Giants and Yankees back in action. First games for the A's, Blue Jays, Rockies, Marlins, Royals, and Braves. So the Braves will start off. They're going to send Chris Sale to the mound against the Royals, 6:15 tonight.
Yeah, listen, you got to feel good if you're Atlanta with Chris Sale being on the mound. I'm actually really intrigued by this pitching matchup because Cole Reagans is a guy that I think is prone to take that next step that we kind of saw with Tarek Skubal a couple of years ago. Just a big lefty with a good fastball. I think he's prone to have a good season, but we'll have to see tonight when he takes on the Braves.
Absolutely, Mike. Well, that will do it for X Sports Live here, brought to you by C&B Linen. We'll see you guys next Monday and 2 other times. Definitely Monday and Friday.
Yes.
The midweek is kind of up in the air right now, but we'll take it as it goes. So for Michael Marks, I'm AJ Good. We will see you guys next week.
Going the distance with local sports. This is the X Sports Network.